Who bought it all? How disgusted we're all when we see, all of us are, when we see 3 days ago when we viewed their parade.
Wait, what was that?
How disgusted we're all when we see, all of us are, when we see 3 days ago when we viewed their parade, our military equipment running down the middle of their main avenue.
Maybe he just got confused reading one of those teleprompters that Democrats and Barack Obama invented back in 2008. Except the confusion bled into him bragging about military equipment, too.
We have F-16s, we have F-35s, F-32s, and we were knocking the hell out of them.
I'm no fighter jet nerd, but I've heard that there's no such thing as F-32s that we use to knock the hell out of anyone. But details about the existence of and capabilities of warplanes has never been Trump's strong suit.
Brand new F-35s, fighter jets. They're stealth. You can't see them. I said, how good are these? They say, well, sir, the problem is you can't see them when you fight them. I said, that sounds like it's a big advantage. I said, how does it do it in fights? And how do they do in fights with the F-35? I said, we do very well. You can't see it. You can't see it. They said, well, sir, you can't see it. I said, yeah, but in a fight, you know, a fight like I watch on the movies, a fight, they're fighting. How good is it? They say, well, it wins every time because the enemy cannot see it. Even if it's right next to it, it can't see it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite series of moments from Trump's presidency. When he thought someone told him that F-35 fighter jets literally can't be seen by enemy planes. He took that first-grade understanding of being undetectable by radar and just ran with it. The whole damn press room was laughing at his ass, but he didn't know what was going on. He takes that genius level of knowledge into his foreign policy discussions all the time.
They're going at levels of speed that nobody thought was possible. Do you know, that was our technology that was stolen by Russia. And Russia has them, and I started them very quickly. But somebody gave Russia, years ago, before me, all of our plans and specs for hypersonic missiles, and they built them, and we didn't. He said Bill Clinton. He could be. It might have been, in all fairness, might have been a little after Bill Clinton. I used to like Bill Clinton. Can you believe it? It could have been Barack Hussein Obama, perhaps. We should ask him.
Oh, he's got Barack Obama back on his mind. Maybe that's why he's suddenly campaigning against the guy that left office 8 years ago with fresh lies about foreign policy.
Now, he was very nasty last night. I try and be nice to people, you know, but it's a little tough when they get personal. Please, again, remember? Please, sir, don't get personal. Talk about policy. Let me ask you about that. We're going to do a free poll. Here are the two questions. Should I get personal? Should I not get personal? Ready? Should I get personal? Should I not get personal? I don't know. My advisors are fired.
Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that's actually been getting worse now that he's afraid of losing to Kamala. There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes.
So that's what it is. Since he's deluded enough to think he's ever been civil or respectful to anyone with the last name Obama, he hopes to use his frayed feelings as an excuse to lie about and misrepresent people, which he's never stopped doing anyway. But real quick, speaking of former opponents and the topic of Vladimir Putin and Russia, there might be more reasons that he wants to pin the selling out to Russia on some Democrats.
Well, that's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
It's pretty clear you won't admit that the Russians have engaged in cyber attacks against the United States of America, that you encouraged espionage against our people, that you are willing to spout the Putin line, sign up for his wish list, break up NATO, do whatever he wants to do, and that you continue to get help from him because he has a very clear favorite in this race.
It really, really might be a bad idea for Trump to rehash this history of bowing down to Putin and encouraging him to meddle in the country's elections, just in case people forgot about his track record before.
Would you now, with the whole world watching, tell President Putin, would you denounce what happened in 2016, and would you warn him to never do it again?
My people came to me, Dan Coates came to me, and some others. They said they think it's Russia. I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia. I will say this, I don't see any reason why it would be. So I have great confidence in my intelligence people, but I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today. Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing. I think you will probably be rewarded mightily by our press.
And Trump not backing away from encouraging the cyber espionage.
Do you have any qualms about asking a foreign government, Russia, China, anybody, to interfere, to hack into a system of anybody's in this country?
That's up to the president. Let the president talk to him. Look,
does that not give you pause?
No, it gives me no pause. If they have them, they have them. We might as well find. Hey, you know what gives me more pause? That a person in our government, crooked Hillary Clinton. Here's what gives me more. Be quiet. I know you want to, save her.
You'd think that after all that blatant devotion to Putin, the last thing Trump would want to float conspiracy theories about is selling secrets or encouraging him to invade other countries. It doesn't even matter who he targets in his lies. This narrative that works on his base is created with the ease to just copy and paste in his newest opponent.
Remember when Biden sent Kamala to Europe to stop the war in Ukraine, she met with Putin, and then 3 days later he attacked. How did she do? You think she did a good job? She met with Putin to tell him don't do it, and 3 days later he attacked. That's when the attack started. Did you know that, General? Should have sent you.
The main reason no one knew that is because it never happened. The vice president has never met with Putin. And in case Trump wants to take Russia's word for it over America's yet again, a Russian news agency said the same thing. But his lies stuck with the people that he knows will believe them enough to regurgitate them over and over again.
And the thing that really makes me mad about Ukraine, we put the bioweapon labs under Obama, and Obama said, oh yeah, we'll give up the nukes and we got your back. We helped cause this with Ukraine under Obama. So I understand why Russia's in there doing what they're doing with the whole denazification of the Donbass region, because so many Ukrainian nationalists seem to be full-blown Nazis these days. A lot of the media I've seen come out of the Russians taking POW, these guys got swastikas all over them tattooed. And I'm like, oh, our media doesn't like to play that, though. It's really interesting how that works.
His red hat-wearing supporters are the reason that he's so emboldened to bring up what should be the most embarrassing and defining themes of his presidency, his ongoing and seemingly never-ending fealty to serving Russian interests. It's a principle that he shares with his running mate.
Everybody knows, everybody with a brain in their head, Jake, knows that this was always going to end in negotiation. The idea that Ukraine was going to throw Russia back to the 1991 borders was preposterous. Nobody actually believed it. Ukraine is functionally destroyed as a country. The average age of a soldier in the Ukrainian army right now is 43. What's in America's best interest is to accept Ukraine is going to have to cede some territory to the Russians, and we need to bring this war to a close. Right. We need to bring the killing to a stop, and that's what American leadership should be doing, not writing more blank checks to the...
So the only question that they haven't answered is why? Why does the MAGA movement that likes to call themselves patriots hate America so much that they relate to Putin's interest more than America's? I can reel off my suspicions, but their own words and attachments to authoritarian figures hits a little bit harder.
Who would you rather have president, Joe Biden or Vladimir Putin?
Oh, Putin. Definitely.
And why is that?
I believe he's been given a tough... Since World War II, Russia's been the bad guy, when in actuality the Nazis left Germany and they ended up going to the Ukraine, coming in here. George Bush was actually, thank you, George Bush was actually a Nazi.